Lesson 14a. Family. Introduction. Of all human groups, the family is the most important primary group. It is a small social group consisting of a father, mother, and one or more children. The family does not mean a place or location, but rather a web of social relationships between the family members. It can be regarded and studied as one of the universal and permanent institutions of mankind. The family is universal because it is found in all levels of cultural development. In this chapter, we propose to study this form and function continues to serve the community. Definition of family. The word family has been taken over from the Roman word famulus, meaning a servant. According to 1. Matver, family is a group defined by sex relationship, sufficiently precise and enduring to provide for the procreation and upbringing of children. 2. Family is a group of persons united by the ties of marriage, blood, or adoption, constituting a single household, interacting and intercommunicating with each other in their respective social roles of husband and wife, mother and father, son and daughter, brother and sister, creating a common culture. Burgess and Locke. 3. Family is a more or less durable association of husband and wife with or without children, of a man or woman alone, with children, Nimkoff. 4. Family is a group of people whose relations to one another are based upon consanguinity and who are therefore kin to another. 5. Family is the biological social unit composed of husband, wife and children. Eliot and Merrill. Essential characteristics of family. When we examine the definitions of family, we have some idea of the essential characteristics of family. The important characteristics of the family are the following. Permanent relations between husband and wife. The family consists of the husband, wife and their children. Parents love and take care of children. The child takes long years to mature. Thus a permanent relation between man and woman is established. Marital relations in different countries may be more or less permanent, but the relations after marriage between man and woman have some degree of permanency in all cultures. This permanency of marital relations helps to bring up the child and to the continuance of family. In polyandrous and polygamous societies also, the husband-wife relationship thus poses some degree of permanency. Permanent sexual relationship. One of the aims of marriage is the establishment of permanent sexual relationships. This helps the establishment of the family. Without marriage, there can be one family even though there may be several relations between man and women. When the relations break up, as in divorce, desertion, the family disintegrates. Children can be properly cared for the brought up only when there are permanent conjugal relations. Conjugal relations is the relationship that binds man and woman through marriage. Blood relationship. Another important feature of the family is the existence of blood relationship among the members. These blood relationships may be real or imaginary. The members of the family have a common ancestor. They think they are the descendants of the same ancestor. A child can be adopted by parents who do not have children. The relation between adopted children and their parents is accepted as legal. There should not be any blood relationship between husband and wife. It is a necessity. An economic provision for the subsistence of the members. Members of a family need money to satisfy their economic needs. The head of the family carries on a certain profession and earns money to maintain the family. Thus each one knows the duties and rights to other members. In different cultures, the burden of earning money may fall on different members, but everywhere there is provision in the family for the subsistence of its members. A common habitation. A family requires a home or household for its living. The members of a family live in one residence. The task of childbearing cannot be performed without a home. Among the nomadic people also, members of the same family live together at one place. Nomenclature. Every family is known by a name which serves to identify the family. It has its own system or reckoning descent. Descent may be traced through the male line or through the female line. Usually the wife goes and joins her husband's relatives after marriage. This is called patriarchal family. In matrilocal family, the husband goes and joins his wife's relatives after marriage. Distinctive features of the family organization. A family has several distinctive features. It influences the whole life of the people in numerous ways. Any change in the form and function of the family can also be seen in the whole social structure. It differs from other groups in the following respects. Universality. Family is the most universal group. It is the first institution in the history of man. It is found in all societies and at all stages of social development. Each one of us is a member of a family. Emotional basis. The family is fundamental unit of human society. It is based on our impulses of mating, procreation, maternal devotion and parental care. It is a close-knit group which fortifies emotions. Formative influence. The family exercises the most profound influence over its members. It shapes the character of individuals. The child is very much influenced by the family and accordingly its structure is determined. It exhibits the name, character and mental makeup in adult age which he acquires in the family. Limited size. It is of necessity a group to be very limited in size, for it is defined by biological conditions which it cannot transcend. If it transcends the biological conditions, it will lose its identity. Therefore, it is the smallest of all the formalized organizations that make up the social structure. Nuclear position in the social structure. The family is the nucleus of other social organizations. The whole social structure is built of family units. We find in the simple society and patriarchal society, the social structure is built of family units. Only in the higher complex civilizations the family ceases to fulfill this function. But even here the local community and its various classes tend to remain union of families. Responsibility of the members. It makes more continuous and greater demands on its members than any other association. In the family, the child learns the meaning of social responsibility and the necessity for cooperation. And Matriarchal describes, in times of crisis men may work and fight and die for their country, but they toil for their families all their lives. That is, the members work hard and fight and are even ready to die when there is a war with other country. They do not fail to work for the family welfare all their lives. The child learns and develops his bases, attitudes and ideals in the family. The life of the family is too deeply rooted in basic impulses. These impulses lend men into the increasing responsibilities of the family and sustain them in the fulfillment of tasks. It is an important agency of socialization of the individual. Social regulation. The family is peculiarly guarded both by social customs and by legal regulations. It is not easy to violate them. The marriage contract is more strictly defined than other contracts. The partners in marriage cannot easily dissolve or leave. Marriage contracts differ from society to society, but in each the prevailing form is insisted upon. Its permanent and temporary nature. Family as an institution is permanent and universal, while as an association it is temporary and transitional. When the son marries, he establishes his own family, which again gives rise to more families. We understand from this that although the family is one of the most limited groups of the society, it differs from them being a distinct type of group. It is the smallest kinship group. It begins in the marriage of a man and a woman. It has undergone change when the sons marry. It breaks when one of the partners die. Therefore, the study of family helps us to know many of its perplexing problems. It also demands our special attention. Social importance of the family. Family is the first social institution in the history of man. Man lived in small families in ancient times. It lacked any kind of organization. It was not a permanent institution but helped human beings to fulfill biological and psychological needs. Generally, the family consisted of husband, wife and their children. The practice of settled agriculture gave permanence to the family. Family is a fundamental unit of society. Its foundations rest upon man's biological needs. In the modern age, the functions of the family have been taken over by other institutions, but there are many biological and psychological needs which man cannot satisfy without a family. According to Havelock Ellis, the value of the mother's milk for the child cannot be obtained in any other way. Parental care, love and affection makes the child grow up well. Human emotions are satisfied only in the family. That man is a social animal means that he cannot live without a family. Therefore, family is considered as a fundamental unit of society. The family has a nuclear position in human society. Family members work for the common good of the family. Division of labor is also based on the family. The family has lost some of its importance in a complex society, but the activities of most members are related to the family. It is usually seen that people work more for the comfort of their wives and other members than for personal comforts. Thus, the family is the nucleus of a major part of man's activities. Well-organized families lead to the formation of a good social organization. The main cause of social disorganization is family disorganization. The character of individuals is developed only in the family. Family is one of the important agencies of socialization. It is an enduring association of parents and children. Its basic functions are 1. The satisfaction of the fundamental needs of the members, and 2. The socialization of the child. Family is a social agency for the education and protection of the race. It is in the family that the child earns such important virtues as sincerity, sympathy, self-submission, responsibility, and loyalty. The family provides great scope for free expression of thoughts and development of the child's entire personality. The home is the first school for the child. Parents should educate children in the family. They should also participate in all the activities of their children. The family imparts practical education to children. Children also learn important elements of culture. It is clear from the above statements that family is the primary and fundamental unit. Confucius said that if you want to improve society, improve the family. The family shapes the character and personality of the child. The important function of imparting the culture of society is performed by the family. Therefore, it is considered as an important socializing agency. Family has been changing its structure and character as there between changes in the economic, religious, and political life of society. In this way, the family marks the individual harmony with the culture of society. Family as an agency of social control. Social life is described as a web of social relationships. A system of duties and rights is organized to maintain these relations in property. This helps to prevent conflict between the members of society. There are several kinds of control in society to foster harmonious relations among the members of society. They are told to obey and respect the aged, have sympathy for the young and for others. Family exercises control over relationships. Thus it helps to maintain the social order. It also promotes unity between men and women. The family exercises control over the unmarried members till they attain marriageable age. It advises the members not to form bad habits and commit crimes like drinking, thefts, etc. Children are punished by parents for going against approved behavior of society. They are rewarded when they take to laudable effort. They are thus weaned from bad habits and learn to be good and useful. Certain values and ideals which are regarded as good and laudable are preserved in society by the family. For example, in India, religious and spiritual qualities command respect everywhere. In the Indian family, mothers have always played a great part in the making of great men. It is the most important institution in man's moral development. Religion and family. The family as an important social institution is closely related to the religious institution. It forms the basis for fulfillment of duty. A man must always be accompanied by a woman in the performance of his duties. Thus a man must marry if he is to be a complete man. Marriage is also considered as a fort by Hindu religion. Even now it is in the family that the individual is educated in religious customs, giving elementary religious education to the members of society. But the family has been losing its hold over the religious matters of its members in recent years. Religion in a secular society is considered as a private affair in which the family need not interfere. Family and the economic institution. Family is the center of economic activities, says Sharma Arin. It uses the product of society. In rural India, the entire family members are engaged in agricultural occupation. Men do the hard work of plantation, irrigation and sowing, women that of cutting the crop, while children take over light work, such as grazing the herds of animals. It takes care of the old, disabled, unemployed and helpless. The origin of the family. Family is a universal institution. It is found at all levels of cultural development. Therefore, we need not waste our time in discussing the theories relating to the origin of family. According to McVer, the various factors in the origin of the family may be classified under the following heads. Sex. This is a fundamental or innate tendency in man. The family originated in the need for permanent means of sex satisfaction and gratification. Reproduction. The family originated in the strong desire of reproduction and the need for a permanent cooperation between man and woman for the upbringing of the child. Economic organization. From the economic viewpoint, women and children depend upon the male. Consequently, a permanent institution of family was required. Forms of family. The form of the family is the result of a combination of life's many conditions and man's diverse needs. Families may be classified variously. Among the various forms of the family, we can distinguish two broad types, the patriarchal and the matriarchal or matrilineal. The patriarchal family. The patriarchal family was prevalent not only in the civilized society of antiquity but also in the feudal society, says Vidya Bhushan Sachdeva. These types of families are mostly found in the world. The male is the head of the family. He is possessed of inclusive powers. He is the owner and administrator of the family property and rights. All persons living in the family are subordinated to him. He presides over the religious functions of the family. In short, the father or the eldest male is the guardian and ruler of the family. The patriarchal family is not only patrilineal, it is also patriarchal. When the father dies, he is succeeded by his eldest son with the authority and functions enjoyed before by his father. When this happens, the nuclear families which belong to the joint patriarchal family in some places remain attached to it, whereas in others they break away to form new patriarchal families. Says Gisbert. The historical importance of the patriarchal family is evidenced by the fact that it is one of the most compact family units under a single head, without the weakening influence of the matrilineal family. It has been considered as the cradle of all civilizations known to us. It was found known to the Aryans. It attained the highest degree of the integration only in early home. The Indian family of the Vedic times was similar to that of the Roman and Greek patriarchal families. The father was its only master. His wife and children had no property of their own. They could not even freely dispose of property. Like her Chinese sister, the Indian woman was subject to obedience to her father before marriage, to her husband during it, and to her son in her widowhood. Besides, the preeminence of the husband and father in the family remained undisputed. The following are the chief characteristics of the patriarchal family. A. The wife after marriage comes to live in the home of the husband. B. The father owns the family property. C. Descent is reckoned through the father. The children are known by the name of the family of their father. The matriarchal family. The matriarchal family, popularized by Bachofen, 1861, and followed by L. H. Morgan and others, has never been proved to have existed in society. In this family, the rule and authority of the family and the ownership of property would be in the hand of the mother. The reckoning of descent and transmission of name or rights would go along the female line. That is, they go from the mother to the eldest daughter. Matva R.M. gives the following as the chief characteristics of the matriarchal family. 1. Descent is traced through the mother, not the father. This is the matrilineal system. 2. Matrilineal descent is associated with matrilocal residence. The children are raised in the home of the wife's relatives. The husband has a secondary position in the home where his own children live. 3. Authority in the family group belongs not to the husband but to some male representatives of the wife's relatives. For instance, the mother's brother or father as the authority. 4. The maternal system tends to bring kin group together, but it reduces the solidarity of the conjugal family itself. It is usually associated with the principle of exogamy. The maternal family is found in many parts of the earth. For example, among the North American Indians and the peoples of Malabar and a few other parts of India. The following are some of the causes given by scholars for the prevalence of the type of family. 1. The Iroquois Indians have been called a metronymic people, for the government of the clans was in the hands of women. 2. The ignorance of the fact of paternity among the Trobriand islanders has been also adduced to favor matriarchy. The power which the Khasi wife has over the family property also favors matriarchy. However, the fact that women in history appear in positions of authority is not conclusive evidence of mother right and not of mother rule. Nuclear and extended family. The family has been classified into nuclear and extended family according to its structure. The nuclear family is the most universal social group. It consists of the husband, wife and their children. The children leave the parental holes as soon as they are married. A nuclear family is an autonomy family free from the control of the elders. An extended family can be considered as a merger of several nuclear families. It consists of parents, the married sons and daughters who remain in the family with their wife's family in an extended family. as extended family may live in a single house or it may occupy a cluster of houses within an extended family compound, or the houses may be more widely dispersed than this. On the basis of residence, the family may be classified as following. A. Matrilocal family. In this type of family, the husband goes to live in the house of his wife after marriage. B. Patriarchal family. In this type of family, the wife goes and lives in the house of her husband after marriage. On the basis of marriage also some distinctions of family have been made. The major forms among them are monogamous family. In this form of family, one man marries only one woman and establishes a family. Polygynous family. In this, one man marries many women and live in a family with his wives and children. Polyandrous family. In this, one woman marries many men and lives in a family with all of them or with each of them alternatively. The polygynous family and the polyandrous family are in common parlance called as the polygamous family. Distinctions of family on the basis of ancestry. The type of the family can also be classified on the basis of ancestry. The main types are matrilineal family. The mother is the basis of ancestry in this family. A woman is believed to be the prime ancestress of the family. Children inherit property through mother. The right of each member of the family depends on his relation to the mother. Patrilineal family. In this family, the ancestor of the family is the man and ancestry continues through the father. Nowadays, this type of family is the most common. Other distinctions of family. The following forms of family are based on the dominance of the mother or the father in the family. Matronymic family. In these, the name of the family or ancestry is the name of the mother, such as Sharda, Sita, etc. Patronymic family. In these, the family is named after the father. Immediate family. This consists only of the mother, father and their children. Conjugal family. In the conjugal family, the husband and wife live together and sexual relations exist between them. Consanguine family. In consanguine family live only those who are related in blood, such as brother and sister, father and son, etc. For example, the Nayar families of Malabar. Functions of the family. Sociologists have classified the functions of family differently. Davis has given the following social functions of the family. 1. Reproduction. 2. Maintenance. 3. Placement and 4. Socialization of the young. Ogburn and Nimkoff have divided family functions into 6 categories. 1. Affectional function. 2. Economic function. 3. Recreational function. 4. Protective function. 5. Educational function. MacLever divides the functions of the family in the main 2 categories: essential and non-essential. He includes 3 functions under the essential. 1. Stable satisfactions on sexual needs. 2. Production and rearing of children. And 3. Provision of a home. Under the non-essential functions he mentions religious, educational, economic, health and recreation. He also thinks that functions have now been transferred to socializing agencies in society. The following are the basic and universal functions of the family. 1. Biological functions. The biological functions are A. Reproduction and B. Provision of food, housing and clothing. Reproduction. This is the first essential function which the family performs. According to the Hindu scriptures, procreation is the main function of the family. They say that the religious activities of man cannot be consummated without son. They also stress that to repay his ancestral debt, he needs a son. Thus the satisfaction of sex instinct makes for normal personality. In most human societies, the child is believed to be the nucleus of the family. Procreation perpetuates the family. Provision of food, housing and clothing. Food, house and dress are indispensable at the existence of human beings. A major biological function of the family is the provision of these amenities for its members. The earning members of the family give food and clothing for all the rest. Every family has a house to live in and the food for the family members is generally cooked at home. Psychological functions. Ogburn considers the feeling of affection as one of the vital functions of the family to provide opportunities for the establishment of intimate relations. Burgess and Locke have written, mutual affection is becoming the essential basis of marriage and the family. The individual receives love, affection, sympathy and security in the family. The relations between husband and wife are strengthened by marital bond. Profound conjugal affection is generated in husband and wife by working together in the family and by sharing each other's joys and sorrows. Without the love of family, an integrated personality development is not possible. The family plays a very vital role in the development of the child's personality. Satisfaction of sexual needs. The fundamental function of the family is to regulate and gratify sexual needs. Man accepts sexual satisfaction besides reproduction as the aim of family. In the modern age, the fulfillment of sexual need is one of the primary functions of the family. Otherwise, an individual cannot lead the life of a normal person. Protection and care of the young. The result of sexual satisfaction is procreation. The birth of a child in a family performs the task of race perpetuation. Family is an institution par excellence for the production and rearing of children. Though childbirth can occur outside the family, but nowhere is illegitimacy approved. Non-essential functions. Economic functions. There are different kinds of non-essential functions. It serves as an economic unit. In the traditional family, most of the goods for consumption were made at home. All the members participated in the activities of the family industry. The ancient Hindu joint family was considered as a mutual insurance in society. It was a self-sufficient unit. Today it has lost the self-sufficiency because it purchases food from the market. Besides, the family members are engaged in different activities outside the home. The family function has been taken over by other special agencies in society. There are division of labor and specialization of function between man and woman. The family members cooperate and help each other in the economic adjustments of the family. The members purchase movable as well as immovable property for the family. Property is an important economic institution which is safeguarded and maintained by the family. Rules of inheritance help the use and transmission of family property. Religious functions. It is a center for the religious training of children who learn religious ideals and values from parents. The modern family has become secular in outlook. Educational functions. The family is an important educational agency. The child learns the first letters from parents. Today the child learns the first lessons in a kindergarten. The modern family has assigned the risk of vocational education to technical institutes and colleges. Health. Similarly, the functions relating to health which were performed in the old family have now been transferred to hospitals and clinics. Childbirth takes place in the family as well as in the maternity ward. Likewise, recreation is provided by the family and by clubs and movies to the family members. Family is considered as the cradle of civic virtues. It helps him to grow into a good citizen by imparting to him good virtues such as love, obedience, cooperation, sacrifice, and discipline. Social functions. The social functions of the family are important since the family is a fundamental and basic unit of society. The following are some of the important social functions. To achieve status. The status of an individual in society is determined by the family. The modes of earning wealth of an individual are also usually decided by the family. Socialization. The family imparts education to the individual in all subjects whereby he can become an ideal member of society. It is the first and the most important socializing agency. The process of socialization begins at the birth of a child and ends at its death. It continues from cradle to grave. Social control. The family is an informal agency of social control. The individual learns the prevailing norms of society in the family. It regulates the conduct and behavior of individuals. Thus it helps to establish and maintain order in society. It also promotes the feeling of solidarity among family members. Social heritage. The family keeps the social heritage intact and transmits to the next generation. As a result, the social tradition, customs, folkways, mores and ideals are transmitted continuously from one generation to the next. Helps in the choice of a life partner. The family helps the individual in his choice of life partner. Although the trend is to select a life partner personally, yet in India even now in most cases the choice of the bride or bridegroom is still in the hands of other family members. Traditional functions of the family. Economic functions. The work is divided among the members of the family according to their status and role. The male members are given hard outdoor work. The women are given light work such as taking care of the domestic chores. Children also assist parents. Thus the division of labor prevents putting excessive burden on one individual and ensures the systematic performance of family activities. All members have responsibility and work collectively. Every family member is given an income with a view to fulfill his needs. Family property is found in the form of a house, farm, jewelry, money, etc. Two families look after the property, and in case of partition, it also equally distributes it among the members. Agencies performing the functions of the family. The function of the traditional family has been undergoing changes due to westernization, industrialization, urbanization, and science and technology. As a result, other special agencies are taking over its functions. They are the following. 1. Kindergarten. 2. Maternity hospitals. 3. Baby clinics. 4. Creches, children park. 5. Babysitters. 6. Hotels and restaurants. 7. Public aid to the family. 8. Club, cinema and other means of recreation. Maternity hospitals. Previously, children were born at home with the help of the midwife. Now in rich families, children are born in maternity hospitals. During pregnancy, the women often consult doctors and are confined to the hospital after the child has been delivered. This system is very advantageous. Here the mother and the child are constantly looked after by a doctor and can get medical services whenever required if there is difficulty in delivery. House can be a danger to the lives of the mother and child. One of the reasons for the increase in the use of maternity hospitals for childbirth is the disintegration of the joint family. The houses in the towns are so small that it is difficult to accommodate relatives. Therefore, the pregnant woman is taken to a maternity hospital with a view of avoiding worries and danger. Hospital for women. In these days of specialization, there are specialists for every kind of disease. There are specialists in feminine diseases in all big towns and cities. They treat the suffering women. Formerly, this work was performed most incompletely and dangerously in the family. Baby clinics. In the modern age, in addition to the treatment of women, there are child specialists. In the past, common infantile diseases were treated at home, but now this is done in children's clinic. This, however, does not mean that this function has been completely taken away from the family. Creches and children parks. Creches and children parks being developed in towns and cities. Employed women leave their children at the creches where educated women look after them, feed and keep them occupied with toys, etc. Nurseries and children's parks have been developed for children between 3 and 6 years of age. In these, every care is taken of children. Babysitters. Females are usually employed as babysitters. Their duty is to take care of children for which they are paid. These are usually employed when a mother goes out of the house on an important work. Public aid. In olden days, the family took care of aged, the unemployed and the invalid. Nowadays, the government undertakes to assist the old, helpless, unemployed people and orphan children. This system is called by different names such as pension, insurance and social security. There is a special arrangement for this kind of help in Russia, Sweden, Germany, and Italy. Thus, many institutions help the family in the performance of its duties. Hotels and restaurants provide food and rest, while the picture houses and clubs provide recreation. In this way, these institutions share much of the family's work. But these can never replace the family, they can only supplement its efforts, says Sharma Arin. Changes in the modern family. Modern India is also affected by many changes taking place in the West, especially due to industrialization with the growth of scientific knowledge and extension of communications. The Indian family is feeling the effects of these changes also. The main changes are the following. Economic functions. The family has lost its self-sufficiency. Formerly it was a production, consumption unit. Now these functions are being performed by factories, government aid and other associations. It would be misleading to say that the family has lost its economic functions, but it is certainly transforming them considerably. Because of the loss of its economic self-sufficiency, the family structure remains modified and its independence impaired. Moreover, it has somewhat relaxed as a closely knit social unit and has opened the door to individualistic outlook. The husband, wife, son and daughters for different reasons are driven out of doors for work. Reduction in other activities. Many home duties which before were discharged by the wife are now being taken over by external agencies. Sewing, cooking, nursing the sick, baking, and washing and many other functions are hardly ever performed in numberless homes, and babies are no longer born at home, but in the wards of modern hospitals. The wife's right to possess and administer her property has been fully recognized. She can sue and be asked before law. She may divorce her husband under certain conditions, and in this case she may be entrusted with the custody of her children. According to the laws of most nations, she can elect and be elected for any office like her husband. All occupations in life are open to her. So Mora has rightly said of the modern woman. She is no longer the drudge and slave of other days. The modern family is no longer joined. The joint family is rapidly being disorganized. The birth rate is falling and the modern families are becoming smaller due to the use of contraceptives. The process of disorganization is quite apparent in the modern family. The number of divorces is on the increase. The control which the family exercises over the individual is being lessened. The modern family is no longer a permanent association. Marriage has been reduced to a mere social contract. Problems facing the family. In this way, the modern family is confronted by many new problems. They are the following. Problem of adjustment of the husband-wife relationship. The educated woman wants to be the equal of her husband in every sphere of life. But the husbands do not accept the claim of equality. Hence, a conflict between the two is inevitable. Thus we find the problem of the mutual adjustment of husband and wife. Problem of sexual adjustment. It is due to the outcome of changes in sex values. This tends to create and encourage premarital and extramarital sex relationships. These factors create sexual disharmony between husband-wife, and as a result numerous families are disorganized. Another problem that confronts the family is that of marriages being based on romantic love. After marriage, the expectations of husband and wife do not materialize in the family. Therefore, they blame each other and live in conflict. Many break the ties of marriage, leading to divorce as the inevitable consequence of romantic marriages. Many marriages do not last long. They break. The reason is that marriage is considered as a mere social contract. Besides, materialisms, individualism, rationalism, and stress on sexual pleasure are cause for broken marriages. A major problem has been created for the modern family by the decrease in the control exercised by the family over its members. Low birth rate. The birth rate has been falling constantly due to late marriage, the use of contraceptive, and a tendency to consider children a burden. This tends to accentuate the instability of family, since the absence of children reduces the sense of responsibility in the husband and wife, besides preventing intimate family relations, quotes Sharma Aran. Disorganization of modern family. The modern family is becoming increasingly disorganized. The system of disorganization can be seen in the following changes in the family. Lack of unity among family members. Men, women and children have their own aims and values, in which they dislike interference by others. Members do not live together, eat together, and move together anymore. This tendency can be seen more clearly in urban families. The house is considered as a hotel and a rest house. Decrease in family control. Nowadays, the control of the family over its members is constantly decreasing. The younger generations do not like to be controlled by parents. The tendency among the married people is to set up an independent family after marriage. Thus, the disorganization of the family begins. Strife. Due to the absence of social control in the family, the strife within the family is on the increase. It also weakens the unity among family members. Joint families are rapidly becoming disorganized. There are many separate families within one house. This is an evidence of the disorganization of the family. Laxity in marital bonds. The marital tie is said to weaken because marriage at present is considered as a social contract. Therefore, there has been an increase in the number of divorces. An important cause of the weakening of marriage ties is the failure of men to adapt to a new circumstance created by the education of women. This leads to struggle between husband and wife. Thus, the family tends to become disorganized. Conflicts between parents and children. The control of the old people over young men and women is constantly decreasing. They do not want to be controlled by parents in their behavior, marriage, society, etc. Consequently, the misunderstanding between the two parties increase and the family becomes disorganized. The psychological security is threatened due to the fight among family members. The feeling of mutual trust is also decreasing in the family. As a result, the family organization is being shattered. The families are becoming smaller. The number of divorces is increasing. Mutual intimacy and faith is being reduced. Selfishness has been growing among family members. Instability. Modern families are unstable. This is evidenced by the fact that there is increase in the members of desertions, separations and divorces. The chief causes of this instability are the following. 1. Less social protection. Previously, conflict between husband and wife was settled by elders, social mores and tradition. Now, due to loss of respect for these modes of social control, the husband and wife destroy each other. Educated employed women do not hesitate to seek divorce. 2. Replacement of domination by cooperation. The basis of husband-wife relationship in the modern family is no longer domination, but cooperation. Formerly, the wife was dominated by the husband everywhere. Therefore, the family stability survived in spite of husband's dictatorship. Now the liberated women do not want to be dominated by the men. Therefore, the stability of the family is at stake. It can be maintained only by benevolence, sympathy and cooperation. It is not easy to foster these virtues. Hence, the instability of the modern family. 3. Nowadays, men, women and children work in factories, which reduce the unity of the family and increases disorganizations. Modern marriages are based on the ideas of romantic love. Sometimes after marriage the couple experiences conflict because of misunderstanding. People pay more attention to their rights than to their duties. The present-day civilization is individualistic. Everyone safeguards his own interest. He cannot sacrifice his interest for the sake of family welfare. As a result, conflict in the family increase. Changed sex values tend to create fidelity in marital relations and also increase the chances for family disorganization. The modern Indian family, its future. Industrialization has contributed much to family disorganization. This has led some people to doubt whether family will escape the present crisis. Many pose such questions as, will the family survive? Will a permanent situation arise in which the family will no longer be necessary for society? What will be the future of the family? In fact, there can never be any doubt concerning the continued existence of the family, since it is based on the basic needs of human beings. It should be no exaggeration to say that the family will exist as long as human society exists. The natural desire for procreation can take place only in the family. Outside the family there is no proper arrangement for the case of the young. The child is considered legal when it is born in the family. The system of marriage and the family give permanent means for the gratification of the sexual impulse of man and woman. The family satisfies the physiological and psychological needs of man and woman. For example, the desire to love and to be loved, the sense of psychological security. It is considered as an agency of social control. It exercises the control of society upon the individual. The family environment is conducive to the full development of personality and to become an ideal citizen. Mutual love and affection of family members guards against many of the physical difficulties of a complex society. This is the benefit an individual gets from the institution of family. The family is a biological unit. Its members have a common dwelling place. The parents are bound together by institutionalized social relationships. Social relations regulate the sex behavior between them. They also determine the system of nomenclature and reckoning descent. The family is the most intimate group to which man belongs and the most effective agent in the transmission of the social heritage. It is the foundation of all social life. It socializes the individual and assists him in the choice and selection of a life partner. As the children grow and become independent, and the parents become more and more dependent on their children, the meaning and importance of the family change considerably for them. In this sense, it is one of the most changeable institutions of society. Summary. Family is difficult, if not impossible, to describe all the direct and indirect benefits of family to the individual and society. It is an inseparable part of human nature. It is the foundation of the social and political structure. We shall see how the family is related to the state in our study of the political institution in the lessons to follow. The family, as other social institutions, is also affected by many of the changes. It is the basis of social life. Hence Burgess and Locke have rightly said, it seems safe to predict that the family will survive, both because of its long history of adaptability to changing conditions and because of importance of its functions of affection giving and in personality development. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe and share.